Welcome to the second annual Platinum Trophy and Achievement Hunting Game of the Year Awards. Just like last year when we crowned Spider-Man as our 2023 Game of the Year, today we'll be choosing our 2024 Game of the Year. I've asked as many trophy and achievement YouTubers as I could what their Game of the Year was, and in this video we'll watch through everyone's clips and count up the votes. Before we get started, I'd like to mention that the Game of the Year video this year is in support of Glasgow Children's Hospital charity's Games for the Wains initiative. All of the ad revenue from this video will be donated to them, and it will be going towards buying equipment and supporting their gamer resident Stephen, who you'll learn a bit more about later in the video. If you would like to help out more directly, we've set up a Tiltify link at tiltify.com/@PlatinAdam/YouTube GOTY. There's a few milestones and incentives on there, but I mainly wanted to mention that we'll be doing a raffle for 2 copies of our Game of the Year winner. And there's also a raffle for 6 PSN or Xbox codes. So if you'd like to help out with a great cause this Christmas, then you might win something back by donating. As this video goes live, we've already raised over £1,000 thanks to some incredible donations from people like Roy Bannonworth Conway, Lirtzie, Satire, and of course, Mum and Dad. Now let's get into the video and we'll start with the honourable mentions. These are the games that got just 1 vote. And if you're here live for the YouTube Premier Chat, then send in your guesses for what game is going to win the whole thing.
Yes now lads, so the beautiful PlatinAdam has reached out to me and asked me for my Game of the Year of 2024. And if you can't already tell what it is Top Spin at 2K25. Now to clarify, before pre-patch because they've ruined the game since, but thanks for having me on the video Adam, Top Spin to the moon!
Hey guys, Costromo here. Now 2024 I think we can admit wasn't the best year for new releases, but there was one game that stood out for me, one game that managed to get its hooks into me and I actually felt that I was transported into its world for those few hours, and that was Still Wakes the Deep. A great little horror game set on an oil rig in the North Sea, but it's the attention to detail in the environments, it's the authenticity / realism of the characters you meet that helps immerse you in that world that little bit more. If you love the movie The Thing, imagine that set on an oil rig, and that's pretty much Still Wakes the Deep. My Game of the Year for 2024.
Yo, my name is Joelemz, and I still love to support small indie developers, but Activision didn't win my vote this year, because another small dev studio called Valve did, with their new game, Deadline.
Hey Adam, thanks for including me in your Game of the Year awards. I was originally going to say Dragon Age the Veilguard was my Game of the Year, but after playing Stalker 2, oh my god, that 100% gets my vote. The game is absolutely insane, and if anyone hasn't played it, I highly recommend it. It will scratch that post-apocalyptic itch like nothing else that's come out this year, so that'll be my vote.
Hello everyone, my name is Stephen Mayor and I'm the gamer in residence at Glasgow Children's Hospital charity. That means my job is to play video games with some of our young patients, giving them a little bit of fun during their hostel stay and maybe trying to ward off loneliness and boredom that can sometimes develop if you're in hostel for quite a while, as some of our patients are. This year, PlatinAdam's Game of the Year video is supporting Games for the Wains, which is our fundraising campaign that supports our gaming service here in the Children's Hostel and funds things like this amazing Rockin' R Xbox gaming cart, specially designed for the Children's Hospital. My Game of the Year this year is Slope Crashers. Slope Crashers is like SSX meets Mario Kart. It's a snowboard and ski racing game with capybaras and power-ups. What more can I say? It's also published by our amazing friends at Neon Hive Games. I was lucky enough to play it at the Glasgow Independent Games Festival in the summer, and it just came out, I believe, on PC and is soon coming out on Nintendo Switch, which I cannot wait for. So that's my Game of the Year. A massive thank you to PlatinAdam and for all of you for supporting Games for the Wains. You've already raised an incredible amount. Please keep it going. Our patients are so grateful, and so am I. Thank you so much.
Yo, what's poppin' people? My name is HstarPlatz and I am a very boring person. Meaning the only new releases I've played this year is Marvel Rivals and Astrobot. Now I absolutely loved Astrobot. It was a great adventure, it was a very cool platformer, and the soundtrack is an absolute bop. But I also loved Marvel Rivals, because I absolutely love superheroes. I was a very big Overwatch player back in the day, the art and style is amazing, and it's the best multiplayer game I have played in ages. Not really saying much, but you get what I mean. So it was a very hard decision, but I want to be different. So my game of the year is Marvel Rivals.
Yeah, your boy just got done playing some Ghost of Tsushima. What's good with y'all boys? This is CJ, the Platinum Conqueror, and PlatinAdam wanted me to give you my Game of the Year 2024. Now, this was really a choice between 3 different dope games that I enjoyed this year. It was between Prince of Persia, that released early this year, and Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, which I enjoyed very much this year, and also Another Crab's Treasure. The Game of the Year 2024 for me is definitely gonna be Another Crab's Treasure, because I love Souls-like games, and this is a dope Souls-like game that evolves the formula in a unique way by using the shells that the crab that we play as picks up along the journey, and these shells affect how combat plays out, which is a very cool thing. This game was one of the biggest surprises of 2024 for me, and if you haven't checked it out yet, you should definitely give it a try, dude.
Hey Adam, thanks for including me in the video, and my Game of the Year choice goes to Stellar Blade. If I remember correctly, the beginning of the year had slim pickings on new releases. I think Helldivers 2 was the only standout one of the first 6 months or so. I picked Stellar Blade up in April just because I needed something to play, and it turned out to be an absolute blast. The combat is one of the most satisfying things I've felt in a video game in a long while. The story's okay, but the combat and the world building is definitely where this game shines. The game definitely went under the radar, and it's probably going to be put on the free games for PS Plus in like the next year or so. But even if it's like 20 quid on sale, definitely pick it up. Thanks again, Adam. Happy holidays, everyone.
Hi guys, Will Platinum's here. Thank you so much to Adam for letting me take part in this video. I am so excited to give you my Game of the Year. I only played 3 games that released in 2024, so I'm actually not going to go for a PlayStation game. Instead, I'm going to pick my favorite multiplayer game, which is Lockdown Protocol. If you're not familiar with Lockdown Protocol, it's basically Among Us, but first person, and there's built-in voice chat where you go around this ship doing tasks and things like that. And obviously one of the perks is that if you're an imposter, you can kill your friends, and also if you're not an imposter, you can still kill your friends. Hey Panda. That should be enough to sell you on it, to be honest. You shoot friend with gun, it make funny noise when they die, monkey brain, yay. So there we go, Lockdown Protocol, that is my game of 2024. Yeah, I gotta buy something in 2025, oh my god, Jesus.
Hey folks, my name's Blinkoom, and I would say that 2024 was really a year dominated by incredible indie releases. You know, whether it was the likes of 1,000 Times Resist, UFO 50, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, there's just so much fun stuff to discover. But, you know, on the topic of discovery, I would have to say my Game of the Year is going to Animal Well. I didn't play anything else all year that came close in terms of the amount of depth, the number of layers and hidden secrets, and just cool stuff to find and discover in that game. I had so much fun kind of swapping stories and theories with my friends as we slowly peeled back the onion that is Animal Well to find everything in it. And it was just a phenomenal time. So, yeah, I would say please, everyone, play Animal Well. And thanks, Adam, for having me on.
Now, before we get into the actual contenders, on the Titlefy page, we had a Community Game of the Year voted on, and we had 4 votes, which resulted in a 4-way tie. So I'd like to say congratulations to each of these games for winning the joint Community Game of the Year award, and maybe we'll see a few more of these games later on as we get into the actual votes.
It's a story about a world very different from ours.
To put it another way, this is a fantasy.
How's it going, gamers? I'm Igni Kaen, and honestly, picking a game of the year for this year is extremely tough. We had games like Black Myth Wukong that had phenomenal combat. We had games like Balatro that were extremely innovative in their gameplay. And we had games like Stellar Blade that featured some absolutely fantastic graphics. No, don't look at that. Instead, look at the best game to come out this year, Metaphor Refantasio. I was already a huge fan of Persona, and Atlas did a great job of taking what makes the Persona games great and adding on top of it to make what is legitimately one of the best games I've ever played. The combat is excellent, the world building is amazing, the story is absolutely phenomenal. If you haven't played Metaphor yet, I'd highly recommend you check it out. You will not be disappointed.
Yo everyone, Tobias here. When it comes to Game of the Year, there's only really 2 options for me.
either Persona 3 Reload or Metaphor. And although it's really close between the two, I would say Metaphor takes it for me. When you think of Persona, you're there for the thought-provoking character moments, and some of the themes just may hit harder for you. Metaphor has similar aspects, but I think of it more as like a grand journey, and it's just like a very interesting and compelling story. The action is constant, so you're not feeling like the story is dragging. Music also bangs. There's like a monk that sings, and like he drops like a sick line in the studio. It's actually kind of funny hearing it. And I just love this game so much. It's one of the highest rated games of the year for a reason. So if you're like me, who's like loves being immersed and obsessed with story games, I genuinely think you should give this a shot.
Howdy y'all, my name is Big John Bible, and my game of the year is Sonic X Shadow Generations. Now I'm not here to talk about the Sonic Generations part of this game, as I platinumed that back in 2012. Yeah, it's okay, you can call me old. But I am going to rave about Shadow Generations for a second here. If you grew up playing Sonic games like I did, you're going to love this game. It's the perfect combination of throwback moments, fresh gameplay, and outdated visuals. It also inspired me to make what is now the biggest video on my channel, which is totally not a shameless plug. But seriously, give this game a try. It is 100% the best Sonic game of the past few years. Finally, shout out to PlatinAdam for the invite and for putting this video together.
Hello everyone, I'm Coldstoner, and my game of the year is actually the only new game I played this year, so I literally can't pick anything else, and that's Shadow Generations. I know this is a part of Sonic Generations, but I'm only specifically talking about Shadow Generations, not Sonic. This definitely counts as a new game, as it's literally a brand new game mode and is even bigger than Sonic's story. This game is still fairly new, so I won't give any spoilers, but as a huge Shadow fan, it's been a while since we actually got anything related to him, so it was tons of fun replaying old Shadow levels and bosses, recreated, and exploring Shadow's story more thoroughly after the pretty awful game we got back in 2005. Also, his world map is what Sonic Frontiers should have been. It's actually a lot of fun to run around, and the collectibles are lots of fun to actually go out your way and get. All in all, a great new Shadow experience that I and many other fans have been dying to get over the years. And seeing them expand upon Shadow's abilities through the game was really awesome, considering we haven't really seen his powers aside from the Chaos Emeralds throughout the series.
What is your reward? My salvation is my reward. What is your craft? My craft is death. What is your pledge? My pledge is eternal service.
SpoolyWoo here. My game of the year for 2024 is a game I waited an eternity for. Space Marine 2 is a fun first experience that's fully playable with up to 2 of your buddies. It stands in my eyes as a classic due to its dedication to the 3 ingredients that make 40K great for myself and I assume many others. It's big, cool, and badass.
One down. Trillions to go.
JC from NC Project here. Thanks for having me again, a year later, Adam. And my game of the year is Space Marine 2. Absolutely amazing game, and I would actually play it even after the Platinum. It was that much fun.
Hey, this is MayorHairBear, and I've been asked what my game of the year for 2024 is, and for me it's not really a contest, mainly because I played like 3 new games in 2024, but for me, I'd been waiting for this game for so long. I think it was over a decade in the making. I'm a huge fan of the universe, and that is, of course, Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. Now for me, 40k is just an incredible universe. I just love games that let me explore that type of world, and I have ever since I played Dawn of War back in the day. But Space Marine 2 might genuinely be the best 40k game I've ever played. It's gorgeous. The gameplay feels really immersive, like you feel like a Space Marine. The story is really compelling, and just in general, it was one of those unforgettable experiences for me. But again, I didn't play a whole lot this year, so I'm excited to see what everyone else picks. I've heard the new Indiana Jones game is really good, so that could have been my game of the year if I played it. But yeah, Space Marine 2 for me, no question.
All right. Game of the year winner is Elden Ring DLC.
Hello, Adam's Award Show. Sandwiches here. Pleasure being here as always. For my game of the year, I didn't actually get to play too many new releases. I haven't gotten to play Metaphor or Astrobot or so forth yet. However, I will say that there is one thing I played this year that was incredible from front to back. The best gaming experience I had all year. And that's why I am on Team Jeff Keighley. And I have to say that the DLC Shadow of the Erdtree from Elden Ring is going to be my game of the year. Again, front to back, best thing I have played no matter what. Even though it's a DLC, I do think it deserves to be recognized amongst the games that came out this year because it's basically a game itself and it has the quality to boot, and I think that's absolutely huge for it. And that's why Shadow of the Erdtree is definitely going to be my pick. If you don't like that though, then my other default game of the year is probably going to be my game of the year 10 years running, Peggle 2. So choose whichever one makes you happier.
What's up? My name's Atomic Mark, and my game of the year has to go to Shadow of Erdtree. Yes, that's right, the Elden Ring DLC. I know. There's debates on whether a DLC should even be in the game of the year at all. I don't care. Shadow of Erdtree was amazing. They killed it. They smashed it out of the park.
Yo, what's going on, guys? LoneWolf here, and my game of the year for 2024 is Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. I know it's a DLC, but the amount of new content, basically a whole new game. I mean, it had its own map where the design was top tier. Leading up to certain boss fights, it felt like a special event. And even the boss fights themselves, they were challenging, but definitely rewarding once you overcome it.
Real quick, I want to thank everybody and say that I think I want to nominate this award to my Reformed Orthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton. Thank you, everybody.
Today we celebrate the mystery of American renewal.
Game of the year is going to be Black Ops 6, and that is because I've just really enjoyed it. It's given me that type of feel that I had when I was younger, when I wasn't a 24-year-old dying man, when I was a kid enjoying my time on Black Ops 2. That's what I'm getting from this game, and that's what I've been craving. Plus, it's the only game in a long time that I've played it after getting the Platinum, and I've really enjoyed helping people, getting the zombies trophies, getting the Easter eggs. And it's given me that nice sort of like bit of connection that you get with people. And that's why it's going to be my game of the year. It like, to be honest, it was close between that and Silent Hill 2. But like, I'm still playing Black Ops 6. You know, Silent Hill 2, I finished it and it was done. Like, it was great. So that's why this game takes the cake for me. So if you haven't already, play Black Ops 6 and maybe you might end up getting some help from me. Who knows?
Hey guys, Michael here, and for my Game of the Year choice, I've chosen Black Ops 6. Being a clear standout for me this year, I've chosen this game solely due to the multiplayer experience. I've already lost so many hours to this game due to getting the same feelings I felt all those years ago with Black Ops 2. With such a great progression system here, this is another reason why I find myself coming back to this game daily. From earning new skins, to finishing challenges, and even having a few snowball fights over the festive season, this is just another reason why I can't put this game down. All in all, Black Ops 6 has everything I've hoped to see all these years later, and I feel like it's a game that's just been done right. Especially when you've got a good group of friends all aiming for the same goal, to have some fun, unlock some skins, and feel like teenagers all over again. And that's why Black Ops 6 is my choice of Game of the Year. Thank you so much for having me, Adam. I'll see you all in the next one.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is JagsPlatinums, and of course, my game of the year was Black Ops 6. I truly had high hopes going into the launch of this game, and they did not disappoint in any aspect. In my opinion, the campaign had a captivating story and honestly some replayability because of how fun some of the missions were. The multiplayer kept me addicted and wanting more, to the point that I kept the game installed even after I got all of the trophies. And finally, the zombies mode found a way to make itself feel new again and had plenty of secrets to explore, so every time you played it was something new. That is why Black Ops 6 was my game of the year.
Five and 7 of spades. A straight flush. 4 to the 8.
Alright, this year I've got to go with Balatro. Granted, I didn't play a ton of games from 2024 this year, but that doesn't stop Balatro from being an all-time great. What's not to like? It's an amazing roguelike where it's super satisfying to build your deck out to go from hundreds of points to hundreds of thousands. And every once in a while, you'll get that game-breaking run where everything falls in place and you score crazy, crazy points. I haven't gone for the Platinum yet because it's quite a time sink. You basically need to beat the game on the hardest difficulty a bunch of different times, but the game is so addicting that I'm sure I'm going to slowly grind away at it.
I'm PlatinAdam, and I could explain why I love Balatro so much with feelings, but I'm going to hit you with facts instead. Balatro came out 300 days ago, which is about 7,000 hours, and if you take away all the hours you're meant to be working or sleeping, you're left with 2,400 hours. Now, I've played Balatro myself for about 50 hours, but I've also watched an egg play it on YouTube for about 200 hours. That means since February this year, 10% of all my free time has been dedicated to either playing or watching Balatro. If that doesn't say Game of the Year, then I don't know what does. But if you want me to explain why it's my Game of the Year pick with feelings instead, then what other game can make you feel like this?
Balatro's not fun to watch. Wrong. This will be the best hand I've ever played. And our next hand won't even come close because we're not going to have a hand size of 24. Guys? 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 What's going on? What's going 4.50 E to the 17? What does that mean? Brother, what kind of number is that?
Oh, hey, sorry. I was actually playing the Game of the Year, Balatro. Yeah. It should have won. It should have won.
Hey everyone, this is JT Plays here. Thanks for having me, Adam, and glad to be involved for such a good cause. My game of the year for 2024 is a bit tricky as I haven't played many new releases this year. Some of the new games I have played in my spare time include NBA 2K25 and Call of Duty Black Ops 6, which I know aren't the greatest games to be nominated, but there is one new game that I had heaps of fun with, which is of course Helldivers 2. Pretty self-explanatory as to why this one won over the other games. But Helldivers 2 is just pure fun, and playing with friends definitely makes it an unforgettable experience. Oh Jesus!
You shot me.
Plus, the Platinum was so much easier to get than the first game, and is now one of my favourite Platinums ever. Hope you all had a great 2024, and hopefully 2025 will be even better. Very keen for some of the games coming out next year.
Hello PlatinAdam fans, my name is Aesopis, and my pick for Game of the Year is easily, without a shadow of a doubt, Helldivers 2, as it had a lot of memorable moments for me, playing with some of my great mates, going for all the trophies. Thanks again for including me, Adam. Peace!
What's going on, Adam? Thanks for including me in the video. My game of the year is definitely Helldivers 2. I think some games just know how to have fun, and Helldivers 2 is one of those games. I think jumping into a match with your friends is one of the most enjoyable experiences in gaming, definitely this year. And they did it all without any kind of crazy microtransactions or anything like that. Yeah, platinumed it as well, and every trophy was just an absolute blast. Nothing was tiresome, nothing was a grind. It was just pure fun the whole way through. So, Helldivers 2, for sure.
Hello, my name is Caleb, or as I go by on YouTube, Triple PV, and I did not play many games from 2024, but the game I played most was College Football 25. I was so excited that this game came out, but it's not my game of the year. My game of the year is Helldivers 2, because if we're being honest here, there's nothing better than hopping in a lobby with your friends and killing bugs and robots for Super Earth and for democracy, and I really had never played a game like it before, so it was just something new for me, and I really enjoyed it. So that's my game of the year, and also, the Steelers are winning the Super Bowl.
Before we get to the final four, we have a few other clips from people who wanted to take part, but they hadn't played any new games this year. So instead of asking for their game of the year, I asked them for the best game they played for the first time in 2024.
Why hello, I didn't play any games released this year, but of the games I did play, I'd say my pick for game of the year is Elden Ring. Great sense of exploration and discovery. I still put it below Bloodborne and Sekiro. But any game that you spend 90 hours on is doing something right. Good trophy list too. That's my pick.
What's up? My name is Luca, and I don't actually have a game of the year because I haven't played a game released in 2024. But my favorite game I have played this year is Deep Rock Galactic. Rockin' Stone, am I right? It's just a fun game to play in between platinums. Very relaxing, very mindless, and fun to play with friends. I like it a lot. So if I can do that as my game of the year, it's that. Yeah.
Hey guys, my name's Andrew, or your average gamer, and the best game I've played this year is Middle-earth: Shadow of War. As a huge Lord of the Rings fan, it just feels amazing to immerse yourself in the world of Middle-earth. 100%ing this game took me around 60 hours, and I did it in just 1 week. It's that good. The gameplay loop is so fun and rewarding, it never gets old. Building your army and besieging entire fortresses is wildly fun. The story is just as good, the ending was perfect, it tied up the duology nicely, and it fit in really well with the Lord of the Rings lore. I cannot recommend this game enough. If you haven't already, please give it a try.
Yo, what's up? So, I was asked what my game of the year was, but I actually haven't played any games that came out this year, so instead I'm just gonna say Skate 3, which is an old game, but I played it for the first time this year, and that game was so fun. I played Skate 2 as a kid, but never played Skate 3. It was addicting, so many funny moments in that game. The NPC behaviors, everything about it was so fun. Although I was trash, I gotta admit, but yeah, that's my choice.
Hey, it's Trophies, and man, I've just been on a nostalgia trip all year, and I've played so many old games instead of new releases. Honestly, I'm just waiting for a certain game that I know all of you want too, GTA 6. Since I can't choose an official game of the year, I'll tell you that I platinumed Mafia 1 recently, and it's at the top of my list of great games that I played for the first time in 2024.
What's going on, Adam and viewers? My name is Eternal Legacy. 2024 was a year for a lot of good and new games, but unfortunately, I didn't play any of them. I don't really play a lot of new releases, so unfortunately, the only things I have to choose from are Dark Souls 1, Red Dead Redemption 1, and Jedi Survivor. You may be thinking, how did you not play those before? I don't know, but I am going to pick Star Wars Jedi Survivor as my game of the year. Gameplay was on point. Story was on point. The game as a whole was just top tier. I'm definitely looking forward to getting the PS4 Platinum for it. Anyways, have a good day, guys.
Yo, I'm Hydro or HstarPlatz, and I've been asked what my game of the year was, but because I'm a loser, I didn't play any games that came out this year. But a game that came out on PlayStation 5 this year that I enjoyed was Grounded. Alright, Adam, that's all. You can go to the next person. Alright, bye.
Platinum Rob here, and I didn't play any new games that released this year. Why, you might ask? Because I was too busy making easy games look hard. What the But if I had to choose the best game I played this year, then it would have to be...
I never want to miss my chance to give you your flowers as one of the OG celebrities who entered the streaming space, motivated purely by just a love of video games. Is there a game that you've played this year that you'd describe as a masterpiece?
Wukong. Black Myth Wukong. Good lord, that game, that's gonna be game of the year.
What's good, everybody? My name is Trav. First and foremost, thank you to Adam for putting me in the video this year. I greatly appreciate that. Secondly, my pick for 2024's Game of the Year is none other than Black Myth Wukong. I had a ton of fun playing through this game, getting the Platinum Trophy on it. It was a really incredible experience. To me, it was a mix of the God of War games and the Dark Souls games, and that's a great combination to me. And just a reminder, there is a donation link at the bottom of this video, which will go to help kids in hospitals, so make sure you guys check that out as well.
Hey guys, Lewis here from NC Project, and I've been asked to give my Game of the Year for 2024. Now, I've not played many of the 2024 games this year, but one I have played that kind of blew me away was Black Myth Wukong. It took me a good 70 hours to get the Platinum on it. I would say I loved every moment, but I didn't. A lot of it was very, very stressful. But once you finish that game, it is a breath of fresh air. That game really blew me away. Did not expect it to be as good as it was. Definitely Game of the Year for me.
Yo, what's good? It's Dom, otherwise known as Platinum Dom, and I usually play really hard platformer games, but a game that stuck out to me this year was Black Myth Wukong. I mean, the cinematography, the boss battles, the actual difficulty, the story, literally everything was quite perfect in this game. Except for one thing, I believe the exploration open world aspect of this game could have been done a little bit better, but I personally think it takes the cake for Game of the Year 2024.
Salute, ladies and gents, this is Shot Session.
And I'm Shotty, and our pick for Game of the Year is going to be Black Myth Wukong. It's clearly the best game this year with the agile dodging and the combating gameplay. Can you see it? Take a look.
Talk to the hand.
What's good, everybody? Game Time Kyle here, and PlatinAdam asked me the difficult question of, what do I think is the Game of the Year? Personally, I only played 2 of those. Shadow of the Erdtree. Yes! Which is DLC. I don't think it belongs on the list. Not gonna get into that. And Black Myth Wukong. Mantled with might. Oh my god. Give me the platinum. Final fulfillment! Yes! We got it! It was actually a really fun game, and I kind of do hope that it wins, although I will not be disappointed if Balatro gets the win. So if Balatro wins, come back to this video and comment down below, because I hope Balatro kind of wins. Although it's Black Myth Wukong, that's my Game of the Year.
My name's Wilbo Wagons, and my Game of the Year is easily Shadow... I'm kidding, it's Black Myth Wukong. Please don't hurt me. In terms of just pure enjoyment, Wukong is easily the best game this year, with crazy boss fights and visuals. I mean, just look at the smile on this guy's face. You can't tell me he's not having a good time.
restless dreams when I see that town. Silent Hill. You promised you'd take me there again someday, but you never did. Well, I'm alone there now, in our special place, waiting for you.
My game of the year after playing so many bangers, well, let's be honest, man. You can already tell, can't you? That's right, from out of nowhere, it's Silent Hill 2 Remake. So many great games, but I have to go for the underdog here, and that's Bloober Team. They had everything stacked against them, and they still pulled it off with a big-ass W.
Big thank you to Adam for letting me be a part of this, and make sure you guys hit that subscribe button for him, okay?
What is up, y'all? DoccoBell back with my 2024 Game of the Year. And before anything else, I just want to thank Adam for including me here. And I also want to thank Bushido Cypher for reminding me to send this video to you, Adam, because I forgot. But my Game of the Year, the only game that's worth playing this year at least, is a game that can send shivers down your spine, a game that can make you feel emotional at every turn, especially in like specific cutscenes. It actually made me tear up. And a game that can make you bust in every corner of the game. I'm talking about Silent Hill 2 Remake. Silent Hill 2 Remake, man. If y'all haven't played it, please play it. Like, it is a must-buy. Not to be confused with Best Buy. But y'all have a good one. Peace out and Merry Christmas.
Thanks, Mr. PlatinAdam, for having me on. I greatly appreciate it. My name is John Callum, and my game of the year is Star Wars Outlaws. Nah, I'm joking. It's the only other game released in 2024 that I played, Silent Hill 2. I love survival horror games, and this was a great way to experience a game I've never played before, even if it took me too many playthroughs. And apparently, there's a dodge button in this game? Who would have known? Why didn't you dodge? Bro did a 0 dodge run. Hey, did you know there was a dodge button? Lol, this game has a dodge button. Just finished my first playthrough today so I could finally watch this video. Got a tip for you. Circle will let you dodge. With all that being said, this really is a great thing to do, and you should definitely check out the donation link below. Especially if you, like me, want to see PlatinAdam suffer for charity.
Hey guys, my name is Lirtzie, and my game of the year for 2024 was pretty tricky to decide. It's been a lot of good games this year, and to only pick one of them is pretty difficult. I did make up my mind though and picked one game that do stand out a little bit more from the rest of them, and that is Silent Hill 2. This is actually my first ever Silent Hill game I ever played in my whole life, and it ended up being a freaking fantastic game. Good story, good characters. So it's been a fantastic game for me to play this year. I'm also working on the Platinum as of right now, and that has also been a blast. So yeah, I will pick Silent Hill 2 as my game of the year for 2024.
Howdy, PlatinAdam. How the heck are you? I am Platinum Gamerscore, and when I'm not platinuming every single Resident Evil ever made, I'm probably going for the 2024 Game of the Year, and I've got to say, that's probably Kill the Justice League.
Time for us bad guys to save the world.
It's okay. It's dead.
Okay, I admit that last one was a joke, but in all actuality, it's the Silent Hill 2 remake. Now, I know I'm going to catch a lot of heat for the fact that I've never actually played the OG and I've only ever played the remake, But let me be the first one to say this game is seriously amazing. It keeps up with the Resident Evil 4 remakes, even if Silent Hill isn't quite as good as Resident Evil.
Hello once again, PlatinAdam. As requested, I've come up with my personalized choice for Game of the Year. And that game is Silent Hill 2 Remake. I chose this game because when I first played the original Silent Hill 2, I could immediately see why it was one of the greatest video games ever made. With its masterful storytelling, incredible atmosphere, and immersive gameplay. And the remake that came out was not only one of the most faithful recreations of the original that one could hope for, but the remake was even better in some ways, if you could believe that. The game has been impressively reinvented for modern gamers. The combat feels very engaging and exciting to learn. And the best part, they didn't cut any major content out from the original game. In fact, they only added more content, making for a more fulfilling experience. What the developers delivered was one of the best video game journeys that a gamer could have, and I think everyone should give this one a try.
Just like last year, the final two is very, very close, so I'll reveal the two finalists and then play the clips afterwards. The first finalist is... And the other finalist is... We'll now go back and forth between our two finalists, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Last of Us Part 2 Remastered on PS5. Oh wait, I'm actually getting told there's been some kind of mistake, so while I sort that, enjoy this musical performance.
This thing working? There we go. Hey Adam, it's Sandra's here. Thank you for having me again. There's no question about what my game of the year is. It's of course Astrobot. I loved Astro's Playroom. The second one, Astrobot, was even better. It's just amazing. Can we please get an Astrobot cinematic universe already? I would do unspeakable things for that to happen. Go platinum it if you haven't already. Subscribe to PlatinAdam if you haven't already. And I'll see you next year. Goodbye.
Hey, Platinum Opus here. My game of the year has to be Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Yeah, the Platinum Trophy is an 8 out of 10, taking 200 hours or more, but over 12% of people have the Platinum, which shows you how much fans love the franchise. Rebirth is special as it's not just a polished up version of the original game and story, but it opens up the whole world of the planet, with new characters and stories, and a storyline that has us, even hardcore Final Fantasy VII fans, theorising and speculating what will happen next. They could have so easily given us like a quarter of this game, and we'd have been so happy to play it, but they went above and beyond, filling the game with so much love and content, plus it looks amazing. Thank you Adam for inviting me to the video, like and subscribe to him, he's awesome.
So, what is my game of the year for 2024? Now, I platinumed a lot of very amazing games this year. Games like God of War Ragnarok, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, the Resident Evil 4 remake, even the Walking Dead Destinies. Okay, maybe not all amazing, but the game I have to give it to is Astrobot. Being a massive platforming fan like myself, I just fell in love with this game from the start. Seeing all of PlayStation's biggest characters made into little cute Astrobot characters, each level was amazing and unique to play, and every second of the game that I played, I fell in love with it even more. So if you haven't gone and got the plat yourself, make sure you do. Also, shout out to Adam for adding me to this video.
Yo, what's going on guys? My name is Shah, aka 3 Point Gamer, and my game of the year is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It has great gameplay, a great story, great music, the best music probably of any game that's come out this year, and of course the nostalgia factor. I was right last year about Baldur's Gate 3, and I'm gonna be right again this year, of course. I just know it. It's gonna win Game of the Year. Also, shout out to Adam for putting this all together for a great cause. Make sure to check the description down below for the link if you want to get in on the action too. Again, guys, it's a great cause. Make sure to get in on the action if you can. Also, let us know what your Game of the Year is down below. I know I'd love to hear it, and I'm sure everyone would love to hear it too.
Astrobot or Helldivers? It's a tough choice for Game of the Year. Both games brought me much joy and happiness, but I think if I look deep in my heart, my vote has to go to. It's Astrobot. There he is, the little bot. This game just made me so happy this year. Helldivers I loved a lot. It was great to like hang out with friends and do the strategy thing and like really work towards the cause of freedom. But Astrobot, as a lifelong PlayStation fan, this just brought me such joy. Also, I grew up on platformers as a kid, so it really brought me back to being a kid and just playing games and just loving it. There was no hardship, no strife. It was just, look at this little boy, he's so cute. I know, I've gone for the cute factor. Look at him! But it was just, and I loved finding all the characters. But my absolute favourite, which I didn't realise existed in this game until I played it, obviously, was when you found those levels that were just based on other PlayStation games. They were so well done. They did the music, they had all the characters, they redid levels. Like, the Uncharted level was my absolute pick. I couldn't believe how well they encapsulate Uncharted in an Astrobot. I want a full-fledged Astrobot game based on other games. I think that'd be great. Imagine Astrobot Bloodborne. So there you go. The bot gets a big thumbs up for me this year.
Hey y'all, the Gray Scott here. If I were to choose my game of the year for 2024, it obviously has to be Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I want to give an honorable mention to Silent Hill 2 Remake though, because that game is shockingly amazing. But back to 7 Rebirth, they did an outstanding job of bringing Gaia to the PS5 generation. Gaia being the world that 7 takes place in. The music is absolutely incredible. Nobuo Uematsu's music is timeless. Please do yourself a favor, go play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Obviously, go play Remake first, maybe even Crisis Core Reunion, but then hop into 7 Rebirth, okay? Okay. Thank you.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Brando B, and my game of the year for 2024 is going to have to be none other than Astrobot. Me personally, I am a big fan of those 3D platforming type games that were more present on like the PS2 era of gaming and the Wii era of gaming, and I feel like that's kind of a dead genre of gaming. There isn't many of those type of games anymore, but then Astrobot released and it was exactly like those type of games that I used to love when I was a kid. I mean, the graphics on this game, the gameplay, the levels were super well designed. I mean, this game is like the PlayStation player's dream game. There's so many cool references inside of this game from past PlayStation games through the collection of the bots. Some really awesome levels inside of the game having to do with some of the PlayStation exclusive games. And this game kind of gave me the vibes of like, this is basically PlayStation Super Mario Galaxy. It was amazing. This game is a ton of fun. I've 100%ed it 3 times, if that tells you anything. Once for the platinum and then twice on my own time. And I know the complaint for this game that it's too short, it's not worth $60, it's too short to win Game of the Year. But in my opinion, it doesn't really matter about how short or how long a game is. If the content inside of the game is absolutely amazing, that's what I value inside of a game. Do I wish Astrobot was a little longer? Yes. Do I knock points off for that? No, I don't. This is an incredible game, but I do want to give an honorable mention to a game called The Plucky Squire. It's an indie game that also released this year, and I personally feel like that game also deserves some recognition for the amount of hard work and just such a cool idea that they created with that game. Anyways, that's it, and thank you, Adam, again for asking me to be a part of this project. See you guys later.
Hi everybody, I'm BombChop, and first off I just want to thank Adam for inviting me onto the video for everyone to discuss their 2024 Game of the Year. And for me, it came down to 2. It was either Silent Hill 2 Remake or the game that I chose, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Being a lover of Final Fantasy VII, like ever since 1997, I have grew up with this game as my all-time favourite, and with Remake and now Rebirth, they've just blown it so far out the water. Everything is just so much more insane than I ever could have imagined. So that is why this was my pick, and it was no contest really.
Hi! So my favorite game this year, of course, is Astrobot, and this is the day after I won Game of the Year, so I'm like super excited. I'm so happy. So definitely play this game if you haven't already. It's so fun, delightful, and like a beautiful looking game. It looks so great, and it's pretty challenging. I thought at one point it was getting too easy and I was getting kind of bored, but as time went along, it got more challenging. It was fun. It was great. Probably one of the best platinums ever. So best platinum of the year for me. So yeah.
Thanks, Adam. I'm Lanky Lemon, and my Game of the Year pick has to be Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It is such a beautiful game with an amazing story, and the gameplay is so compelling. The platinum took me about 200 hours, so I got my money's worth at least, but it is such a perfect game. You should go play it if you haven't.
So for the second year in a row now, I've been asked to give my Game of the Year. Admittedly, I've slacked this year on new releases and I've only actually played 1, but it was that good. I feel like regardless of how many I played, this would still be my Game of the Year. Before we go any further, I need to go stand with my boy. Standing with my boy, Deacon St. John, my Game of the Year, without a doubt, is Astrobot. I had to change and stand with my other boy, Sackboy. Absolutely fantastic game. I didn't play it on release, I waited a few months, but it was absolutely fantastic and I truly loved every second of it. It's a game I would definitely recommend.
PlatinAdam, what's going on, dude? Thanks for not forgetting about me this year. My Game of the Year for 2024 is gonna have to be Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It's no secret that I was a big fan of the first game, and although I did prefer the more linear mission structure that game offered, Rebirth kept enough of what made the first game special and even expanded upon it, so that was pretty cool. Let's have a great 2025, guys. Adam, thanks again, and don't platinum anything I wouldn't.
What's good again, Adam? Unlike last year with Ghost Runner 2, I don't have a curveball pick. My Game of the Year is just Astrobot. It's just so good, man. I didn't expect the game to be this good, but it is that good. As someone who's played Astro's Playroom 3 times on separate accounts, this game is just that, but bigger and better. The levels were really beautiful, the theming is really nice, and they're just so fun to go through, trying out all the different abilities and everything. The references to all the different PlayStation properties and even some non-PlayStation properties are just so cool and really adds a lot of character to this game. The soundtrack is even amazing as well. I've been using Astrobot music in my videos recently. It's just so good, and I plan on using even more music over time. And yeah, just all I can say, this little dude cooked, man. He cooked. He's the GOAT. But there is one thing that's annoying about Astrobot, and that's just simply splashing sprint. If you know, you know. But that's about it. Astrobot's just my GOAT, and I'm happy to be a part of the Game of the Year project again, man. Peace out.
Hey guys, I'm Brew, and my Game of the Year is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Why? Because I freaking love Final Fantasy VII as a series. I grew up with it, I loved it, and when the remake came out in 2020, I spent there was like a bank holiday, I had 4 days of just non-stop gaming. I loved it. Probably the greatest gaming experience I've ever had next to Elden Ring. And yeah, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth just expands way more on remake. Holy cow, this game is massive, there's so much content. It took me about 150 hours to platinum this game. Probably one of the greatest gaming experiences I've had, apart from the the Chadley's combat trials at the end, holy cow. But other than that, this game's so good, and I highly recommend anyone that hasn't tried it to try it out. Try these games, because they're so good. Final Fantasy is probably my favourite series. Cheers, Adam, for letting me be a part of this, and may the best game win.
What's up, nerds? FNAF Guy here. Now, I played a ton of games this year. Black Myth Wukong, Helldivers 2, the new Yakuza, and everyone's favorite COD killer, X-Defiant. But one game stands out to be my game of the year, and that is freaking Astrobot. Now, this game stands out if you're a PlayStation lover like me, where you got to grow up with all these iconic PlayStation characters, and it brings you through this journey that I think can be enjoyed by all families. It's basically Mario, and I'm actually going to the Game Awards in person, literally in like 2 days, so this better win, because that would be freaking epic. I knew it. I knew it. I freaking knew it.
What's up, everybody? Deathroff here, and my Game of the Year vote goes to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. An honourable mention to Black Ops 6, because that game has had me hooked the past month or so. But if I'm being real, for the amount of time that I put into Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and the way that it made me feel, in the sense of I just lost track of time and responsibilities, that's a good or bad thing. I think it's good. Games don't really captivate me too much anymore, but Final Fantasy VII Rebirth just had my full attention. And if you've not played it yet, I'd definitely urge you to try it at some point. It's honestly amazing.
Hello everyone, Satire here, and my game of the year has got to be Astrobot. I loved everything about this game, from the throwback characters like Jack and Daxter to the level design and music. Let's be honest, we all wanted more from Astro's Playroom, and I feel like this game definitely delivered on that. So Astrobot takes it for me. Also, if you're enjoying this, the video is raising money for a really good charity. Anything helps, and the link is in the description.
Yo, it's me, Rye3no, and what's my game of the year? Well, I played a lot this year, so let's see, it's hard to pick.
Remake, 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 remake. Decent, but not my game of the year. Also decent, not my game of the year. The hell? How did this get in here? Sucked. Nice ass, but haven't played it yet. Would be if it lasted till the end of the year. I couldn't even finish it. Pretty good. Ooh. Now this one, unfortunately, didn't come out this year. Oh yeah.
It's Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, obviously, and if you say otherwise, well, you're dumb.
And the game of the year is... Against all odds, with 9 votes each, it ended up being a tie this year. I had a few ideas for tiebreakers we could do, but honestly, with this video being a celebration of the past year, I actually like the idea that we have 2 winners with 2 completely different types of games. So joining Spider-Man 2, officially we have 2 2024 Games of the Year. However, if you would like to help choose a definitive winner, as soon as this YouTube premiere finishes, I'm going to add a poll to the Tiltify page. So if you want to enter the raffles to win a PSN code or a copy of either Astrobot or Final Fantasy, at checkout you can put your money where your mouth is and pick which game you think should have won. And remember, all the money will be going to a great cause who will greatly appreciate it. Finally, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who took part in this video this year. You can find their channels linked below, and if they've made a video on their game of the year, I've linked directly to that video. I hope everyone has a good end to 2024, spend some time with family, play some board games, watch some films, or maybe catch up on your backlog and play all the games you haven't been able to play this year. Have a good one, and I'll see you in the next one.